Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Forge from Iron Extra Time Headquarters Monday show. You know us. I'm not going to bother with that. Andy, how are you, my man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It was, do you know what? It was so nice having the weekend stress free.
Brilliant.
Like
Wasn't it?
we got the job done on Friday. I'm not going to obviously talk about that game, but it was just nice to get everything done and out of the way, and enjoyed it. Yeah, as Joe, as the kids, mate, all good.
Yeah, Logan went back to school on a Friday. He's, kids being at school, he's happy to go back and see all his schoolmates. Grace, obviously, even Sharky. Grace, obviously, she's no longer at college and stuff. She's 19 at the end of the month, Andy. It's not fun. I don't like that. She's 19 at the end of the month. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel old.
Oh, bless
No,
you.
she's got a boyfriend. I'm a dad, I'm a dad.
Yeah, the
He's
joys, man.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So, guys, you know the drill. We're live on both Extra Time and the main Forge channel, because that's how we're going to do this for the time being. So, if you're not subscribed to one or the other, please jump across and subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Let's get some likes going. I think we've got 5 on the main channel, and we've got 8 over on the Extra Time channel, which is nice. Thank you, guys. Evening back. We're here to talk whatever we want, really. We discussed the game yesterday. Andy's got a few things lined up. I want to talk about obviously now the transfer window is done and done. We can still sign players. We can still lose players as well. There was a question asked on a social media forum earlier, so I'll put it to you guys, and Andy, I'll put it to you as well in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about a few free agents that are out there. I've picked 5 in particular. One is more than likely going to happen, and the other 4 I think would work for us as cover. Not quite sure where we'd stand on homegrown quota, but that's a different story. Mr. Duvas, I see your comments, sir, and I understand it. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think he'll, comments were made on social media again about Mr. Lingard being around the club, and the fact that the club have kind of like this joyous togetherness, if you will. And the question was asked whether it was Lingard that was, responsible for that. I don't know whether that's the truth, but I do actually think there does seem to be a better togetherness within the club. Andy, would you agree?
Yeah, I think what he brings is personality. I think the fact that we're doing well also is helping the situation. He's probably, I'm not being funny, when Jesse Lingard, we don't need to talk about it. We've talked about it a couple of times. When he's on form, I dread to think the West Ham defender's trying to play against him in even in training. So if we get that hungriness,
Yeah,
100%.
For me, see, that's the key. Is if I know he hasn't played. I know he hasn't played, at a level like us for a while now. I know he was at Forest. It didn't go too well for him. If he can replicate what he did when he was with us, if he can show the commitment, the drive, the desire that we had before, then I'm all over that. I think it's brilliant. I think it'd be a no-brainer. A no-brainer for us to get him, to be honest, as long as we get the replication. I think what we need to do is, I do think he's learnt a lesson over the money situation and the way he left us. I really do believe There's talk of it being an incentive-based contract. The money that he'd earn would be incentivized. So, I think it could be a win-win for us, to be honest with you. And it could be a win-win for Lingard as well, because he gets to come back. He knows he made a mistake. He gets to prove a point and come back and try and win people over. And hopefully we get a Lingard that, because it's all incentivized, he's going to want to perform. He's going to want to score goals. He's going to want to assist goals, because that's where his bulk of his money is going to be coming from. So the more he does that, the more money he earns, So I think, like I say, I think he's learned his lesson from, chasing the money last time. And I think if we do it right, it's going to be football, isn't it? It's going to be football that wins. And Paul's right. Paul, I was about to say exactly the same thing. Once he starts scoring goals for us, once he starts assisting the other players and getting goals, once he starts putting in those kind of performances, it will be forgotten. Of course it will. And he does have good footballing ability, Sharky. He does. And Moyes does quite clearly rate him. I mean, Jesus, he chased him for 2 years. So he obviously does rate him. Yeah, again, Mr. Dubas, I know what you're saying about being, 2 years older. He is unfit at the minute because of obviously what went on last year. And that, listen, Mr. D, that's your opinion, and I get that. I get why you're of that mind. I really do. I just think we could see a different Jesse Lingard this time round, and we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just gonna 1 second. I was just gonna do 1 second, man. 1 second.
Do you agree with what Joan says, Andy? She says, unfortunately, loyalty is rare in players, and of course they're going to go where the money is, and obviously the opportunity. Lingard was a disappointment, but if he improves our results, I'll have him back, and I think that says it all, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I've just had a look here. This is not all competition, but Lingard's only played 182 Premier League games at his age. So I'm just going to look at his overall.
Age, yeah.
His overall, there's a couple. So in total, including reserve games in his whole career, not including international, obviously, he's played 380 games. That's it.
At 28, no, 30 now, really.
Yeah, 30. He's 31 in December.
Yeah, see, so and like Paul says, I think he's good for squad morale. Having that person, we saw it last time. I think there was an issue with a watch, wasn't there, or something. It is what it is, and that's the way it's going to be. Andy, could you bring the picture up of the other 4 that I've got on the list for me?
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, I don't know if you can see here. Obviously, we are short up front. I know we've brought in Kudus. I think Kudus will play on the left, but also can play through the middle. So I picked a couple of centre forwards on here, and Andy, I want your opinion on them both. I've got Stefan Jovetic there. I used to rate him really highly, and I wanted us to go get him many times over the years. I thought he was always out of reach. I always used to get him on Football Manager. I always used to have him, in my team when I build a FIFA Ultimate team. If I did an Italian team, he was always in there. I rate him highly. And the other one I've got on the list, and we love a bastard at West Ham. Let's not mess around. Let's not try and hide behind the fact we love a bastard. Arnautovic was one. You know what I mean? And I've got on there Alfredo Morelos from, Rangers centre forward. I know he loves a red card. I know he loves a bit of a diggy, but I think, given the right fans behind him who love a bastard, I think he'd do well for us. What do you think on the 2?
Yeah. I remember when we done this before, didn't we? And so he stayed on this. This is the same template.
I thought we'd gone already. I thought
Yeah.
someone snapped him up like a Fulham. Obviously, Fulham have lost Mitrovic, who again is another bastard. I thought someone would have gone and got him. It's very surprising that he's still on the list.
Yeah, no, Morelos is good. I think I've already stats out before. There's no point me getting him up again. His European pedigree as well, scoring in Champions League and Europa League for Rangers as well, is second to none, and that can come in handy as well. So no, I think if I had to pick out of both of them, I'd pick Morelos because obviously he's younger as well. And yeah, whenever I saw him in the old firms as well, they were the only real Scottish games I watch. He's a real talent. He was real talent. So yeah, definitely I would.
Oh, you just mentioned the old firm there. Did you see the? Was he already signed for Santos? All right, okay. Thank you, Epic. I didn't realise that. That's all right. That's fine. Did you see the old firm at the weekend, Andy? Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you see the disallowed Rangers goal?
No.
That was allowed through VAR.
No, I didn't see. I say I watched it. It was on in the background.
Oh my word! The geezer gets himself in front of him. He gets his leg round and in front of the defender and the ball, kind of in between, as the defender's going to kick the ball.
Right.
But the defender kicks the back of the Rangers player's leg, falls on the floor. The Rangers player gets the ball, runs off, squares it, Rangers goal. Goes back to VAR. VAR tell the referee to go look at the monitor, and it's disallowed for a free kick. Now, someone made a comment in the pub where we were watching it. They turned around and said, if that happens in the penalty box and the defender kicks the back of the attacker's leg, it's a penalty. So how on God's green earth can you disallow the goal for what would amount to a free kick to Rangers? Hiya, Larry. It's good to hear that, my man. I haven't been on Twitter today, but if you've got some pictures of your food and your barbecue grill going, let's have a look. I want to see some of you. I nearly said I want to see your meat. That's not what I meant.
Your veg. Meat and veg. Meat and veg.
Yeah, you're meat and two veg now. Not one minute the slightest. Let's not go down that road. Yeah,
we've just lost 2 viewers because of that. Sorry, people.
I just felt it was, and then obviously you had the game yesterday, Arsenal covered. Let's not talk about that. Mr. Doofus, please don't bring that back up again. Bring the sheet back up again, Andy. So you pick Morelos off of that list, yeah, as the two strikers over him.
But obviously Morelos has gone now, so he's redundant.
Yeah. Well, then Jovetic is still there. I'd have him all day long. Yeah. Obviously, we're going to lose again from the centre backs in January. Obviously, I think it's 6 weeks from start to finish if they stay in the entire tournament. I think it's 6 weeks that we lose the players for the AFCON. And obviously, I keep saying obviously, it's my word. Joe keeps telling me off. We got in cover with Mavropanos, so then you'll have Mavropanos, you'll have Ogbonna, you'll have Zuma. But I feel that, you got Kera there as well, but I think Kera's more of a right back. Tuanzebe, Andy. Do you know much about him? Have you heard a lot about him?
Yeah. I saw him when he got in the team of the season, didn't he, when Villa were in the Championship?
Yeah.
Got promoted. Good, strong English. The quota. He's
homegrown.
Homegrown. Didn't have the best of time. I think he was on loan at Stoke last season. But who would have a good time at Stoke, to be perfectly honest? It's a shithole. But we'll save that for another episode. But no, definitely I would be.
It'd definitely be someone that would will be someone that gets my attention. And then obviously I've put Hazard on there, and there's a couple of people in the chat that have said he's retired. I weren't aware of that. He's only 32.
Yeah, I didn't know he retired.
I didn't realise he retired. I think that's quite young. He's still up on the he's still up on the transfer market as a free transfer. So never say never. But again, good cover for the left wing. He, like I say, he's only 32 as well, Andy. You know, I'd definitely take him. I think his wages might be too high. Danny and Sharky said Maguire will come in on loan. Danny Saunders has said take Maguire. And then, there's, people saying that, they don't want Maguire, to be honest with you. Wolf says, how about with Fabianski and get De Gea on a free? I think Man U might be looking at signing De Gea again to replace Onana, to be honest with you.
It's gonna be on more than his 500 grand a week than he was to go back, I think.
After that nightmare that he's had. And then obviously we got Mr. Lingard on there, Andy. We've spoken a little about him already. If you had to pick two out of that list, gone. So you got four to pick from. Lingard's already through the door.
Mine would be Lingard and Morelos.
You go with Morelos. Obviously he's gone, but
I was doing it to wind you up. I was doing it to...
I don't want to talk to you.
No, Lingard. If I had to pick out of them, I'll do Lingard and Hazard.
I'd actually go Lingard and Twinzabi, to be honest with you. I think with Lingard being able to play a false 9, false 10, whatever you've got Bowen that can go up front. Even if Antonio does, pull up a bit, you've got Kudus that can go up front as well. So I think we might be okay up front. I know people are having a bit of not a meltdown, but there's a few disgruntled comments on social media that we didn't go out and get a striker. I get that. So
I think in our position we haven't really done it before in the past. If we're doing well, I don't think we'll make the mistake. Say, for example, someone in a striker in the Championship, who's like the top goal scorer. Why don't we go out and buy them in January? Do you know what I mean? Someone in form and probably could step up. That's what I reckon we should do in January.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, we have a good history of the Championship. In my opinion, I think we do anyway. So I don't see it being a too much of a drama. Tony says get Ramos, or where is it? Get Ramos on a free. He's actually gone to he's gone back to Sevilla. Yeah, he's gone back to Sevilla, which is where he started. Was it 18 years ago now?
Yeah, his whole contract's only £1 million for the whole year, but he earned about 100 million at PSG, didn't he?
Yeah, for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and a sending off, Yeah, I
mean, I like that. I like the fact that he's gone back and he's kind of. I think he said something about his dad and his grandfather as well, in his statement when he went. So I quite like that idea. I don't mind that.
I'm going to put one striker for you. Yeah, would you take a punt on Che Adams from Southampton?
Yes.
As a backup.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. I think you'd be able to push Antonio all the way. I actually really do rate him as a striker. I know he hasn't had the best of times whilst being at Southampton. I actually really like him. He's pacey, he's strong. He's a bit of a bully as well when it comes to, being around the back line. So I'd take a punt on him.
And the other one as well is the Southampton one. I still think he's Adam Armstrong. He's rapid. I would still take a punt on him as well. I know we were linked with him in the past and he chose the Saints, but that'd be another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm quite happy. I'll be quite clear now. I'm quite happy with what we've gone and done. I'm not in any way, shape, or form upset or worried about what follows. I'm actually happy with our our transfer window. I don't think we need to panic. Like we've already said, you've seen the fact that we can put Kudus up front, we can put Lingard in a false 9-10 if we sign him. You can put Bowen up front. Yeah. We got Ings there, although all right, it doesn't quite work in the situation in our favour when it comes to the way Moyes likes to play. But I still think it's. I think we're okay. I do think we're okay. So yeah. I'm not panicking in any way, shape, or form. I'm not concerned about the fact that we don't have a striker. And as Paul's just said there, I forgot about him. Mubama's there as well. You've got Mubama in the wings waiting to come in and do a job. So, you know.
Would you swap? I know Mr. Doofus said that Adams has signed a new contract. If we could, would you swap Ings for Adams?
Yeah, all day long. All day long. Yeah. Adams would be able to play in Moyes' formation. But Ings can't. So it's for me, it's a no-brainer. You know, Danny's just said Martial to West Ham in January. I wouldn't say no to that either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not panicked. I'm not like sitting here stressing. Do you remember like when we used to have just Andy Carroll and that's it? And when he got injured, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, look how far we've come since then.
Right, we've come so far since the likes of Ilan and don't get me wrong, I didn't mind these players, but when you had the likes of Guillermo Franco and Ilan and
Di Michele.
Zaza and Di Michele, and do you remember when we went and got who was the other? We got Borriello and who was the other?
Nosharock. No, it was like
Noscarino.
Yeah, Noscar. Yeah,
on loan, and we thought that was going to be like our next Tevez Mascherano deal, and that one went down like
that. But the best bit was the only game you played was Chelsea away, and I remember getting a 1-1 draw when Bellamy scored. I didn't know hardly any of the team, and we managed to remember. That was with Zola, wasn't it?
Oh my God! Oh mate, we've come so far. I mean, you look at what we've done in this window. Even if we do get Lingard in, we've come so far from Mido and Benny McCarthy. We'll leave it there, shall we? We'll just end the show on that.
Yeah. The best comment though was to come back to what Karen Brady said to him though, wasn't it? Oh, she's just a mouthy cab with tits. That's what Benny McCarthy said. And then Brady's comment was, at least I'm meant to have tits.
Oh, look, Sharky's just come in with Mariam Chamak. Oh my God.
I was jealous of his Barnet, to be fair.
Yeah, mate, there's some horror stories there, aren't they? Absolute horror stories with the strikers that we've had. I mean, was it we had something like 128? Is it something like 128 strikers?
No. I've done a show on the old channel last year, and that was I think it was about 54 when I've done it. So we've probably had a couple since then. So it's close to 60.
It's ridiculous.
I think only 10 of them scored above 10 goals.
That's since Sullivan came through, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it makes you feel sick. Sick. But it is what it is. I mean, we're doing well. What's Wolf saying here? Crazy thing is, we should have 12, but boys started defending at 60 minutes. I don't care, though, as we smash Brighton and Chelsea. He's talking about the Bournemouth game. Yeah, you're right.
And that seemed so long ago.
Mate, I'll tell you what, it seems so long ago, but if you told me at the start of the season, before we kicked off, you get a dodgy 1-1 draw against Bournemouth because we defend too deep and we throw it away, I would have taken a draw at Bournemouth before kick-off. If you said to me, you beat Chelsea with 10 men, I would have laughed at you. If you said we beat Brighton away with 22% possession of the ball, I would have laughed at you. And obviously the Luton game, again, I feel we were a little bit lucky in places. But 10 points from the opening 4 games of the season, I don't think anyone gave us any hope. I mean, they gave us 3, and that was against Luton, wasn't it? So, you know, I think we're where we should be as a we're on paper with the players we got. I think we are doing what we should be doing now, and I don't think there's that fear of being West Ham throwing it away.
I know. Definitely, definitely. For anyone who we may offend, we do apologise, and there'll be a disclaimer in the description below. I'm going to have a little rant, and I think Duke's going to back me up on this. Maybe everyone in the chat may be on our side.
I'm going to do this, Andy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, and hang on, not me. I want you at the front. What is this solo layout? I want you at the front. No, I don't want to be on top of you, Andy. It doesn't appeal to me.
It does look very weird.
Yeah, right. I'm going to hang on. What? I'll tell you what. You know we're no good at this shit, didn't you? When we're doing
what we're doing.
I'll tell you what. Look, just go for it. I'm going to shut up.
Everyone who watched the Man United game yesterday, I'm not going to sit here and talk about VAR either. I thought Man United were robbed in the 87th minute. But as you know, a certain Mr. 41 scored a fantastic goal for the way Peter Drury do. Goal. Yeah. But yeah, he scored a gunner for life as well. But apparently we've been told that's another reference, but we'll save that for another day. I've seen a particular section. It's probably about half. Oh, I can't be harsh and say young hammers. Probably young hammers saying that they're happy for Declan Rice.
New hammers, Andy, would be
okay.
The old school, the old crew, us, our generation and above, I feel, won't act like this, won't behave like that. That's not what we do. I do believe it is, like I say, the younger generation of West Ham fans.
And we've lost viewers because I've offended them. Fuck it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, carry on with what you were saying about them.
Yeah, no, I'm just very frustrated. It may just come across like you said. I'm 31, but I didn't forgive. Everyone goes, well, everyone forgave Scott Parker. I didn't forgive Scott Parker for going to play for Tottenham.
No.
The
only player that I've forgiven that's left our club and gone to a London rival is Michael Carrick. And the reason I did that is because he turned around and said, you know what, I'll give you a year. I've got to think about my career, but I want to stay and try and help West Ham get back into the Premier League. After we got relegated, he turned around and he said, I'll stick around for a year. I've got to think about my career. We didn't go back up. He stuck to his promise. He tried to work us up. It didn't work. We lost in the final at Palace. And then he left. And I've got all the respect for Carrick on that one. And I love Carrick. And I think Carrick is highly underrated. And I know we've got Danny Saunders in the chat who seems to be a United fan. And I've said it before, Danny, and people have kind of mugged me off slightly. I actually think Carrick was a better player than Scholes. I've said it again, and I don't really care. But carry on, Andy.
No. I agree. Like Joe Cole, I didn't really forgive him when he come back. He come back to us, but I didn't forgive him for going to Chelsea. Didn't forgive Glenn Johnson. Like we just you don't do it. If Declan went to Man City, I'd been fine with that. You're going to play for Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers in the world, Real Madrid, etc. But you don't shit on your own doorstep.
Yeah,
and that's my opinion on it. And people in the chat, you can agree that I just don't feel like if Danny is it, yeah. Danny,
if it's Danny who I think it is, if it's Danny who I think it is, comes in my pub. Yeah, I've had a conversation with him before.
But he's not going to think well of Tevez, is he, for doing the dirty?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like people say, like I don't think Danny would forgive what Peter Schmeichel did either. What a legend he was at Man United, and he done the dirty. Yep. You just don't. Andy Cole done it. So you just don't go to your rivals. You just don't and support them.
I'll tell you what gets me is he came out, didn't he, right? And he banged on about, well, since the World Cup, I want to go because, or he didn't say I've got to go. You know, they dream about, the players dream about winning trophies and playing in the Champions League and all the rest of it. Well, hang on a minute. I'll tell you what, if he'd come out back in December and said, you know, I'd love to go play for a club that's part of a project, or, you know, I want to go play for an upcoming manager, and I want to go and be part of a project to build something in the future. And unfortunately, I don't see that being West Ham. And I wouldn't have had a problem with him going to Arsenal, right? I wouldn't have. So the fact that he said we want to go win trophies, and you had the chance of doing that. There's only 6 teams in the world, 5 teams in the world. There's 5 teams in the world where you're guaranteed a trophy. 1 or 2 trophies a season. One is City, because you've got normally 4 shots at a trophy, 5 shots at a trophy, 4 shots. I'm not including the Charity Shield. So you've got 4 chances at a trophy per season at Man City in the Premier League. You go to France, you've got PSG, same thing, 4 chances at a trophy. You go to Germany, again, like Harry Kane has gone to Germany, you got 4 chances of a trophy there because, you know, again, no one else is really there or thereabouts. And then you go to Spain and you've got Real Madrid and Barcelona are probably the 2 best teams that you can go to, that you can guarantee yourself a trophy. Well, he's gone to Arsenal after all of that, right? And I just can't. I personally think he's a bit of a hypocrite. You know, Jones says a bit further back, you know, he kissed the badge and, you know, kissed the West Ham badge like 4 weeks ago, 5 or 6 weeks ago, when we lifted the trophy, punching his chest, you know, blowing kisses to the West Ham fans and
singing bubbles.
Singing bubbles, you know, clapping along when they're singing 10 more years, Declan Rice, you know, punching the badge. I can't buy it now. Danny's just brought up something down the bottom here, right, about Celtic and Rangers. Back in the 90s, Mo Johnson played for Celtic. Left Celtic, went to Everton, then left Everton and came back to Scotland and played for Rangers. The uproar was fucking ridiculous. He got death threats, he got everything else, because there's things you don't do in football. Now, Andy, I've seen the Twitter pages that you're alluring to, and I'm not going to out any names, but there was one that did say, I'm so happy for you, Declan Rice. It's good to see whatever it was. And he put the Academy of Football is still going. And then he made a comment underneath about Declan Rice being a true professional, Declan Rice being you know, and I was like, I put underneath and I said that if he was a true professional and a true West Ham player, he wouldn't have been meeting with Arteta at Arteta's house in January, right? Someone came and responded to me saying that X had dispelled that as being false. Wrong. I know that's true because I was told by someone that that's what had happened. I've been told since that he met with Arteta in January. Now, for me, that's my club's captain. My club were in a relegation battle at that point. Mr. Duvas, nothing was done about tapping up because we gave him permission to go talk to them as a club. We said, yeah, go talk to Arsenal then. Oh, he went from Nance to Rangers. Yeah, but my point was, Kent, he still went back and played for Rangers after he played for Celtic.
No, I just want to, sorry, because to interrupt, I see what, 1 second, where was that other? It's different. Like, I sort of get what he's saying, but I still wouldn't forgive Deck if he went I don't know. Say if he went Liverpool and then went Arsenal, it was still the same. He's still a London rival. Why would I be cheering
Yeah,
a
yeah,
player on? That's the point I was making as
yeah,
well. I
yeah,
understand what Kent's saying. Like Peter Schmeichel went there at the same. Both of them went there at the end of the career, but not after the legacy you've created at Man United. Would you go and
yeah,
do the dirty? That's the point I'm making. But I
yeah, yeah,
understand
yeah.
that football's a interesting subject. I respect everyone's opinion.
And that's it. I'm not celebrating Declan Rice, and then the way Declan Rice celebrated his goal yesterday, it made me feel sick. Someone put on it, it's like seeing your girlfriend splitting up with you, and then you
That
see
was
her.
me.
Was it you seeing her with another geezer and getting rowed or whatever? It made me feel sick. I must admit, I screamed a few derogatory terms at the telly. I called him a few unsavoury names. It just didn't sit well with me. The way, again, he celebrated the goal, running up to the fans, pumping his chest, the big grin, walking off after the game, pumping his chest and pointing
But
at the
do
arse.
you know what hurt me? Do you know what hurt me the most? Was the Arsenal fan saying he has never witnessed anything like this before at West Ham.
Mate, we got a bigger average attendance. We won a trophy last year. He had that with us 6 weeks ago. He had that with us 6 weeks ago. In fact, he had that 3 weeks before he won the oversized Weatherspoons dinner plate at Wembley that day. He'd already had that. He's had West Ham fans singing his name for the last 8 months trying to get him to stay. So don't give me that shit that he's never had that. Don't give me the balls that that he's now a gooner for life. Fuck me. He started at Chelsea. He played for Ireland, for fuck's sake. Like, behave yourself. We should have known it was coming. What I will say is he never, in my opinion, there it is. I don't care now. He's gone. Sounds familiar. I don't care. He's left.
Oh no! What's happened?
Fuck him. He's gone. Let's move on. But some of the fans, it's the reaction of some people that get my goat. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to wish him good luck. I'm certainly not going to wish him ill. I don't want someone to tackle him next week and fucking end his career. I would like Arsenal to be in the title race until the last 3 games of the season, and or up until we play them, a bit like we did with Chelsea, Tottenham when we were in Tottenham's title chances. I'd love to be able to do that to him. I'd love to knock him out of the FA Cup semi-final. I want to see him lose the Champions League final heavy. And as Kent literally has just said, I've just seen it come up somewhere. We're in better shape now.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I agree with what Mr. Doofus said. That would be a good date box.
Oh, just lump him. And what I don't want to see, right? And this is the honest truth, and this is where I get kind of Roy Keane. I don't want to see our players on Boxing Day when we play them at the Emirates, all hugs and hands. Oh yeah, football friends. I don't want to see that. Easy opponent. Go out there and rattle him. If you want to shake his hand after the game or whatever, in the privacy of the internal parts of the stadium, knock yourself out. I don't want to see it on the pitch. He's a guy you want to be running through to score goals for West Ham.
Yeah, because I think I slagged him off when we lost 3-0 to Tottenham, away to Tottenham, and he was hugging like Kane and Dyer or whatever it was. I had a whack go at him then, but anyway, yeah, fuck 41. Anyway,
exactly. What else you got, my man?
Yeah, let's talk international, shall we? So I'm going to give everyone a update on what is going on. So for anyone who has looked on the club website, I do apologise. But I'm going to repeat it. This is what I wanted to bring these two up first, mate. Is Sufal and Suchek, did you see them? They returned to the stadium where we won the trophy.
They did. They got a
Yeah.
absolutely banging response from the fans there. It was really good to see. I saw the videos. It really did. It really did make me smile, I have to say.
Yeah, no, definitely. For people who know, Czech Republic are playing 2 games. They've got a qualifier match with Albania and a friendly away to Hungary. So there's our 2 Czech friends.
And they've both been. They have both been picked for the squad. Hopefully they come back with no injuries. You know, Big Tom did miss the game against Luton due to concussion protocols, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, once that's done, it's done. So he's now eligible for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, obviously the Reese is back in training now, but I don't know whether he's back in the squad. But they reckon he's with Areola's form as well was in contention to play against Republic of Ireland on Thursday and away to Germany next Tuesday. So that's Areola. What a start to the season he's made, though, isn't he, mate? I know we keep talking about him every week, but he's been unreal, hasn't
he? I tell you, made some good saves. You know, was it the Brighton game towards the end? Some good saves against Luton as well in that game. Was really good against Chelsea. You know, slightly to blame for the Bournemouth game, but hey ho, you know, no one can be perfect. But I think he's making Fabianski his words a little bit. You know, when Fabianski came out and made that statement that I don't like the way I was told. You know, listen, you haven't got a leg to stand on when Areola's playing like he is, and I think he does deserve to start for France.
Definitely, and I agree there. We're lucky to have 2 number 1. The one thing is, though, I'll tell you what, you've noticed it. I noticed it. Is his throw? He can throw it to like halfway as well, can't he? Joe, sometimes he just launches it and just throws it like into perfect as well, isn't it?
He's got a throw that I can kick, yeah.
Yeah. So that is Areola. He's been called up as well. New signing, Konstantinos Mavropanos.
Yep.
That'll be good for him to get some minutes. He'll probably play there. And he's got Netherlands away and then a nice sunny trip to Gibraltar. So, nice couple of sunny trips there. So,
he's doing all right.
Let's have a look here.
And we'll be going home, won't we? He'll be going home anyway during the Europa League stages because we've got Olympiacos over in Greece, so we'll be going home for you know, hopefully for one game.
Let's see what Kent's comment here. Areola flaps at the ball. He doesn't command his box enough. He doesn't scream enough, but he's defending him. He does worry him to death when he plays. I get it.
Better.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Like, it's a tough one. I think goalkeepers now, like, if the ball gets played to Areola on a pass back, I feel more confident as well. Fab seems to take an age, and I don't want to like seem like I'm slagging him off, but I understand what Kent's saying as well. But I think shot stopping as well, like getting down, like I remember that Ferguson shot. I think Fab would have even struggled to get down to that shot, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, but if no one's perfect, but yeah, I take the comment on board though.
He's got things to work on, but I also believe that our style of counter-attacking football is better with Areola in goal because he releases the ball quicker. He's always looking to release and get that ball out. So I actually think we're better off in that sense. But we'll also do well in the cups with Fab in goal as well, as Paul's just put.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that is our little friend there. Our latest signing, obviously, Kudus, will play for Ghana in the home to the Central African Republic on Thursday before their CAP international break versus Liberia as well. So yeah, he's got a busy games as well. That would do him some good. That would do him some good, especially if he gets a couple of goals as well coming back after that as well. I know he's confident he's signed for the club, but goals are important.
Goals are important for attacking players, and I think he will I think he will hit the ground running for West Ham once he starts. He got what 5 minutes under his belt the other day. But I think once he starts getting some regular appearances, we're going to see some magic from the fella. I really do.
Yeah. I'll save that, Ken. I've got the perfect goalkeeper for us, who I think I'd love us. We would have to win a trophy to get him, or do well to convince him. If we get European football again somehow, we will. But he plays in Germany, and I think he'll be the perfect goalkeeper for us. Yeah, I think he'll get more than 4 minutes, Mr. Doofus. Yeah. Next one is Saeed Benrahma. Have already secured their qualification to the final tournament, and they will face Tasmania. Wow, that's right, isn't it? Yeah,
Tasmania.
Yeah. Joe, I thought that was like a magical place. Joe, like, I didn't realise that. Joe, when you're half asleep, you're like, "Am I reading that right?" And then
lovely.
And then they closed their friendly against Senegal as well on Tuesday, the 12th of September. That's good. These overseas ones playing them on Tuesday, so the time they get back Thursday, that's good for us, really, because we play.
It's Tanzania. It's Tanzania they're playing. It's yeah.
It's on small print. It's on the small print, but yeah.
Oh, you've got it on the small screen. I'll let you off.
Yeah. Next one, Agued. Obviously Morocco.
Yes.
He plays up against Cornet for the Ivory Coast, and they also play Liberia as well. So they've got 2 games there. There he is, Cornet. So yeah, he's playing that. I didn't realise this one though, mate. I didn't realise Antonio got called up.
Oh. Where are they playing?
Honduras and Haiti. And the Haiti game will be played at 1 a.m. Wednesday, 1 a.m. Wednesday morning our time.
I might still be awake, so I might chuck it on.
And of course, one of my favourite players already, Alvarez, playing for Mexico. We'll play one versus Australia in Texas, and the other one, Uzbekistan in Atlanta.
I tell you what, he's straight away a fan favourite, mate. I absolutely love watching him play. He's solid, strong. Said it the other day. His head's always on a swivel. Marks space really, really well, and doesn't dick around. It's very much the simple stuff for me with him, and I love it. I love it a lot.
I'll save your comment, Kent, for a little bit later. We'll just finish this one off if you don't mind. Yeah, gotta love Alvarez as well. And the last one from me is we're gonna have you know what? I'm sort of happy because of the risk of them getting injured, but this is just a reminder of the shit what Gareth Southgate's picked for our international games.
It's annoyed me so much, mate. You got 2 players there that have not played a single minute of club football so far this season. Well, you hadn't when this squad had been picked. You got Calvin Phillips in there, you got Aaron Maguire in there. When this squad was picked, neither of them had played a single minute of football. I know Maguire came on yesterday. I don't know what Ten Hag was thinking, that he'd try and close out the game with Maguire and Johnny Evans. Interesting. But yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, you got 2 players there. You got,
I think Calvin Phillips come on for City as well, but it's still not the point.
Yeah, well, it's, the fact that they hadn't been playing, I feel sorry for James Ward-Prowse, because that could have been a position that he could have been picked in. And then you got Jared Bowen that I really think should be picked, but I look at the players we've got up front, and other than probably Callum Wilson now, I think the rest of them do deserve to be in the England squad. Maddison's been brilliant for Spurs. Grealish is what Grealish does. Eddie Nketiah, I'm still a massive...
Grealish just pulled out. He's injured, so it'd be interesting to see if he pulled.
But I get why he was picked.
Yeah.
You know, Eze, I get why he was picked. I mean, apparently Man City are going to launch a £60 million bid for him.
They tried to do it on deadline day.
Yeah, they're going to go back in again on January's transfer window. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Overall, though, that team, Andy, bar obviously the pair of idiots that he's picked, you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm pleased for Colwell. I think he's done well for Chelsea.
He's very slow though, mate.
Yeah. Well, it's Harry.
Games this season that he's been picked, and
my favourite defender is Tomori. I think he's a beast. The fact that he's gone over to Italy as well, learnt a new language, and made it his own. Kieran Trippier and Carl Walker signed over his new deal with City. I think he's still at his age, 32, 33, the way he can bomb up and down the pitch. Trent, obviously, it looks like he's going to be in a midfield role, which I do like the look of, to be honest. If I had to pick the three who I'd play Trent, Bellingham and Rice as a three for England. And my front three, because obviously Grealish is out now, I would have Saka, Kane and Rashford. And my back forward for England would obviously be Walker. I'd have Tomori. I'd probably have Gay, to be honest. I think he's good. Left-footed as well to get the balance. Yeah. And then obviously Chilwell, left back. And I think Pickford's the better goalkeeper out of the three.
Can't stand it.
Trent's out as well. Oh, wow. Trent's my bad.
Yeah, just seen that on there.
Okay, so that will probably be Henderson, Rice and Bellingham then.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for Maddison. If he, I thought he was superb the other day for Tottenham. All right, they were only playing Burnley, but I thought he was exceptional.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Andy, let's come back to Kent's comment. I'll get it up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
He says, this comment won't go down too well, but I would sell Benny if a big bid comes in from the Saudis. He's wasteful, he flatters to deceive too much, and if we can get big money for him, buy. Your thoughts, my man?
If we could get a decent replacement, I still think he can do a job. He's not consistent, but I think he's more of an impact off the bench. If I'm being perfectly honest, I remember a couple of times he's won us the game from the bench. I think Kudus will probably take that position. But if you would, controversial again, homegrown, if we could get decent money for Benny, I'll go and get Dwight McNeil from Everton.
Yeah. I mean, listen, in the next week, if a bid comes in, as Kent has alluded to there, big money, Fornals can still play out there. You go and you get, so you've got Fornals there, you've got Paqueta. I remember playing when we played Bournemouth, I think it was, he played out on the left and drifted in. Against Brighton, before Souček's injury. Like I say, you've got Fornals can play. You're going to have Lingard that hopefully comes in, does the job there. You've got Kudus that can play out there. You've got Bowen that can also play out there. And don't forget Maxwell Cornet can play out there as well. So if we get a bid of, 35 million, I'd quite happily let him go. I would. It recoups the money. And as Ken says, I do think he flatters to deceive. I do think he loses possession too much. I've said it many times before. I don't think he has a lot of footballing intelligence. The times when to recycle the ball, etc. So Yeah, I mean, listen, if it comes to it, I'd quite happily see him go. Let's put it this way: it wouldn't bother me in the same way that Paqueta going or Bowen going would. Let's just put it that way.
Just quickly on Bowen, I'm not panicking yet. The fact that he's not signed his deal, there's rumours circulating. I'd offer him 200 grand a week on a 6-year deal. I think that's how crucial he is for us, mate. To be honest.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there was talk, wasn't there, that if Salah goes to the Saudis before the end of the window, they would have come in for Bowen. Well, that window's still open, so we just got to kind of, in a way, expect them to come back in January, because if Salah doesn't go this window, he'll go next window. But then that being said, Salah's saying he doesn't want to leave, and when you've got 1.5 million pounds sitting on the table as an offer, as a weekly wage, right? As has been said, you can set your family up, you can set your grandkids up, your great grandkids, your great grandkids, etc., etc. With that sort of money, you can, you can set your family's future, your future family's stability forever and a day.
Yeah.
But he's saying he doesn't want to go. Now, I've got to respect that. If he's staying at Liverpool for footballing reasons, then I can only respect that. And listen, I'm not a huge Salah fan, but he certainly wins me over a lot if he decides, he comes out, oh, I'm staying at Liverpool because of footballing reasons. I could go here and get this and set myself up for life, but I'm not being funny. He's probably already set up for life, isn't he? He's probably, even his grandkids are probably set for life off of the money he's going to earn. So the fact that I'll have a lot of respect for him, and I'd be impressed if he does stick around.
Yeah, no, definitely, man, definitely. I think that's it. To be honest,
I think we've done well. We've got it in under an hour. The thing is, it's international break now, isn't it? I'll be honest. Since the announcement of the England squad came out, I don't have any real interest in the England games personally. Obviously, I'll have them on in the pub and we'll advertise it and all the rest of it, but it doesn't hold any interest for me with no England players. With no West Ham players. I probably will have an interest on how the boys do, and I don't know about you, Andy, but I might chuck a video together for, a review of our international players get on, just something to do.
We could probably talk about it next Monday. I know a couple of games will still be played, but to let them know how they got on game day 1 or something, maybe.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I mean, it's it's nice to be able to just sit here and talk to the people in the chat. So, anything else you want to add, mate, before we call it a day and wrap it up?
I just want to say I apologise for the lack of the breakfast shows. It's because we've not had much to talk about. To be perfectly honest, it's sort of from last Tuesday. It's dried out. I'm not going to sit here and talk for 5 minutes talking absolute crap, if that makes sense. So that's the reason for that. But obviously, when anything breaks or if anything major happens, then we'll do a video. But apart from that, we're probably going to have a nice week off, mate.
Yeah, I mean, and hopefully, I mean, our first game back is it's going to be the 16th, is it? 14th?
Yeah, Man City at home. Yeah,
Man City at home. I think that's a 3:00 kickoff. It's not on telly. I won't be. Well, I'll try and get it on my phone, but I'll be at my brother's. At my brother's game, he had a week off this week, so it was. I wasn't out winding up opposition players. Anyone in the chats, actually, just quickly, anyone going to the Paolo Di Canio night on the 15th of September? Is there anyone going to that? Because I'll be there, and I'll be accompanied by my wonderful partner. Not you, Andy, Joe. She's coming with me. She's a big Paolo fan, so she's going to be joining me there. So if anyone else is going and you do see me, say hello. You know, come and speak to me. We'll have a drink. Other than that, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to say. Keep looking out for more content. We will be keeping you all up to date. And no doubt we will see you all again very, very soon. Andy, thank you for joining me. And cheers, Rob. That's such a nice thing to put on it, Roberts, but I'm definitely not going now. Why is it not showing? There we go. Definitely not going now. Yeah, cheers, mate. I will see you all very soon. And one more thing to say, Andy, come on, you irons, or have you got a new one?
No, we're just fucking massive, aren't we?
It's back! It's back. We're massive. I'll see you all
massive.
Fucking massive, indeed. See you all soon, Andy. I'll speak to you later on.
Take care.
Take it easy, guys. Thank you.